What's good, Internet? My name is Attack Slug. It is that time of the week once again to talk about Monday Night Raw for the week of April the 25th, 2016. Let's get right into it, opening the show with Shane McMahon still running Raw, still running the show for reasons beyond my understanding, just because they feel like it. It's like WrestleMania didn't even matter. Anyway, speaking of which, we finally, weeks later, bring back Stephanie, who has been gone since Mania, to say, hey, wait, you're not going to be running Raw much longer because there's a big announcement at Payback. And that's kind of going to be by Vince. And is that going to be a brand split? Is it going to be some kind of a, big angle leading up to SummerSlam? Probably. We'll find out, though, at Payback with Vince. And we still haven't seen, Triple H since Mania, and also Steph gets removed by security after, slapping the crap out of one of them, so that's fine. Anyway, our first match of the evening is AJ Styles versus Sheamus, and it was, a fun match for TV. The crowd was kind of dead, but, what are you going to do? AJ wins with the forearm, which feels like, hey, they're going to build up that forearm until it gets countered with the Superman punch. You know it's coming at Payback. Anyway, after the match, out comes Gallows and Anderson to, we're in ring gear now, and, that kind of stuff. Then we get some backstage stuff with Reigns and the Usos, and they're kind of, still kind of bros and whatever else, and this might lead to a six-man tag at some point. I don't know. Next up, out comes the New Day, dropping that Birdman, put some respect on it reference, which I appreciated. Playboy. And then out comes the Vaudevillains. Then out comes Enzo and Cass. We get like a little face-off here, and it's funny. Most of those guys, except for Kofi, went through NXT. So that was fun to see. But yes, that's going to set up your number one contenders match for the tag and team titles at they're going to have a match at Payback, and then obviously you would assume the actual match is going to not happen until the next pay-per-view, which is going to be Extreme Rules, which is the end of May, I'm pretty sure. So next up we get the Usos versus Gallows and Anderson. This is the first actual match from those two, and people kind of were not happy. Kind of went on too long, and the crowd didn't care, and the Usos are just kind of, the Usos. I think the most funny thing here was that on commentary, Michael Cole was kind of explaining the past friendship between AJ and Anderson and Gallows. Like, yeah, they were in New Japan. They were in some kind of a club. Like, they're going so close, but they can't say Bullet Club, or they won't say Bullet Club. Which is real funny. And then after, obviously, you're gonna have Anderson and Gallows win here. Blue Thunder Bomb. Obviously. You have them win here, and then out comes Roman Reigns because they're beating up on the Usos, and then kind of just gets them, running scared or whatever, making them look strong. And I'll get more into that when we get into the main event. Next up is this match, which is Sami Zayn and Rusev, which was a fun TV match that again the crowd kind of didn't care about, which was annoying because I like both these guys. And they can certainly put on a fun match for TV. And Sami Zayn wins in the usual Sami Zayn fashion, kind of out of nowhere. And then as he is going up the ramp, kind of saying, hey, I won. Well, first of all, Lana taking her shoes off and throwing her shoes at Sami Zayn is just so, like, late 80s WCW. It's fantastic. But as Zayn is walking up the ramp, here comes Owens hitting him from behind. They also had a video package kind of, going over the personal history between Sami Zayn and Owens, but they didn't really, they kind of can't go into that, 10 years of, hey, he was El Generico. They won't ever mention that. So that was real fun to see. So yeah, that's going to set up that stuff for that match. Then we had Stardust versus Apollo Crews, and I want to like Apollo Crews, just do something with him. These just, hey, I'm coming out and having a match, and winning the match, and smiling, like, he's put him in a storyline, do something with him. These individual matches against guys that, you know, are pretty much essentially jobbers is not really doing much for him, and, like, the crowd's not really having any kind of a connection with him, because kind of he just goes in and, you know, beats the guy up and then wins. Like, that's not really, you know, do something. He's a new guy, he's a fresh face, do something. Then we get Ambrose coming out, but it's not the Ambrose Asylum. It is just him being all mad about it. And then out comes Chris Jericho wearing a scarf and like a Chippendales blazer and what he claims are $1,500 boots, which, hey, they might be. That's still, even if they aren't, that is a good heel line. And basically, this all ends with a table spot with the walls of Jericho on the table, which I just talked about, like, yesterday, about how a flat surface is a flat surface. It doesn't hurt you anymore on the table, much like the GTS doesn't hurt anymore if you're doing it on the concrete backstage. It's the same. It's not the point. But +1 for Dean Ambrose making fun of Chris Jericho's Bon Jovi haircut, which has been hilarious for a long time. Anyway, moving on, we had Emma on the main roster. Emma on the main roster in a match versus Natalya. So she lost in like 2 minutes because it was, you know, that's we're regressing here in terms of our Divas matches. Perhaps they're short on time. I don't know. But the whole point of the Divas Revolution was A, to get more matches, and B, to have longer, more meaningful matches in feuds just like the guys have. So your women's champion was ringside. And there was some stuff there with Ric Flair and whatnot. But yes, Natalya wins with the sharpshooter in a pretty quick fashion, and that was kind of a bummer. But, and not 3. Speaking of women's wrestling, we had a video package for Chyna, rest in peace. But it's such a, like, hey, we're gonna say nice things now that she's dead, but when she was alive, we just didn't want anything to do with her. We were gonna ignore it. She's not going in the Hall of Fame. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Moving on. Damien Sandow. Speaking of main roster people on the main roster, holy shit. Damien Sandow was there for literally 5 seconds to go, hey, hi, Damien Sandow. And he was supposed to fight Baron Corbin, but Dolph Ziggler wouldn't let that happen. Ziggler attacks Baron Corbin, and we get, like, you know, a little brawl there, and Baron Corbin runs away. But hey, Damien Sandow on Raw. I mean, that's more than Zack Ryder can say. Zack Ryder's jobbing on SmackDown now. What the fuck was the point of giving him the IC strap at Mania and then having him lose it and not actually get back into a feud with anybody for anything? He's jobbing in a tag team on SmackDown. What the fuck? But hey, Damien Sandow, 5 seconds. Alright. We got another Rusev Crash. We got another video package, another different video package for Epico and Primo, which still, is it just for tourism? Like, what? I don't know. Are they being paid by Puerto Rico? Like, I don't know what the deal is here with these video packages. Are they heels, faces? I'm assuming they're heels. And that's fine, but what the fuck are they doing? And why are they taking so long to fucking do it? That's what I don't get. Anyway, speaking of promo stuff that kind of didn't go anywhere and I kind of didn't care too much about, we had The Miz and Maurice come out to cut their promo stuff, and that was kind of whatever. And then we had Cesaro come out in a suit, looking awesome, to cut his own stuff against those things, and then they wanted to quote movies again, and it didn't really work last week, and it kind of still doesn't work this week. However, Cesaro doing the uppercut, the fucking Swiss death in a suit, and then keeping on the glasses and looking at the camera, that was fantastic. Like, stop. Like, I love Cesaro. He's awesome. He's not the best promo guy. So you work around that. You play to his strengths, and you de-emphasize the weaknesses. So don't have him going back and forth with The Miz, who usually Miz is a pretty good promo. Not so much lately, but he's he's all right. And yeah, so that was kind of they teased the swing, and Maurice like got on the Miz to make sure that Cesaro couldn't do the swing. Now Cesaro is freaky strong, so maybe at Payback they try that same thing. Maurice gets on top of Miz, and Cesaro fucking swings them both anyway. That'd be awesome, an awesome visual. Anyway, we get a video package with Roman Reigns doing Make-A-Wish. So anybody who thought, hey, maybe WWE's gonna listen to all these boos and turn Reigns heel, not gonna happen. He's doing it. They're literally making him John Cena, who apparently is back on like May 30th. But they're literally, here's the John Cena treatment, Make-A-Wish, you know, breast cancer awareness, all that stuff. So he is firmly in that spot. They're not turning him heel. They're not gonna align, you know, the Bullet Club with him. Like, none of that's gonna happen. He is the guy now. The guy. Anyway, your main event with the guy is Roman Reigns versus Del Rio. And Del Rio, man, vicious. Just beating the crap out of Roman Reigns here. Just some of those shots were real stiff. Speaking of which, they're apparently breaking up the League of Nations. They had some stuff on SmackDown they taped last night that they are breaking them up, and you know, I guess they're all going back to being singles guys. So that's the thing. You're right there, Rusev. Get the ropes. Get the ropes. You're right there. It's whatever. Yeah, hit him in the face. So yeah, main event was kind of whatever. You know, outside of Del Rio being real stiff, it was kind of whatever. It was all right, but yeah. Reigns wins, and then after the match, here comes Anderson and Gallows, and making them look strong. And then out comes AJ, and you know, he does the forearm, and that kind of ends the show. And what I wanted to mention earlier is that, to me, what the game plan feels like. Now, obviously, I'm not privy to any inside information. I can only sit here and speculate, right? But you want Roman Reigns to look strong, right? Now, to make him look strong, you want to put him over guys who are, you know, established, dominant guys. But how many established, dominant guys are hurt right now? So, oh, geez. Man. So, logically, what do they think? Well, if our established, dominant guys like Cena are hurt right now, let's go buy some other established, dominant guys from other federations, bring them in, and have them put over Reigns and make him look strong. Like, that's a very cynical way of looking at it, but that feels like what they're doing. So, I don't know. I think that certainly a variation of the Bullet Club could be money in WWE, but if all they're doing is making Roman Reigns look strong, that's kind of a goddamn shame. Anyway, that's what I thought about Raw. What did you think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments down below. I'm surprised this match is still going. I'm a tax slug. I'm going to see who wins here, but I'm going to end this video. More videos every day, as always. And I'll see you next time, right here on this channel. That's got to be it. That's got to be it. 1, 2, 3, and we're done. And I'm out.